Hi, everyone. It has been a long time that I give a webinar here on Wednesdays, and thank you for joining us here it's 11 a.m. Central Time. What time is there where you are, guys?
We've got noon over here on the eastern side.
Noon. That's great. 9 a.m. Spicy. Kim Ben Shalom. Also, it's at noon. Thank you all for joining us. We're going to wait a few minutes to start the webinar. How, Shona? 10 in Colorado. It's cold in Colorado, Shona? Oh, the spring is starting. Also here in Dallas. Last weekend in Dallas, it was like crazy. It was raining, it was cold, and now it seems that we have sun. It feels
Dallas
like
is kind of a funny one with weather. You can drive from Dallas to Fort Worth and see three different seasons in the drive. It's
100%. I agree with you. I cannot say that it's not true.
yeah, we've got quite a few folks over in Colorado as well. So our team's kind of stretched across the country too. We get to kind of hear the different weather impacts. So I think up in Colorado or in Ohio right now, they're seeing some snow. Tucson, Arizona.
Well, from probably, guys, you don't know Matt, and let me introduce Matt because he is part of QuoteRush. So you know, guys, that today the webinar is going to be about the new updates that we have with QuoteRush. So we are so happy to have Matt with us and all of
Thank
these
you.
questions.
Appreciate that. I'm happy to be here today.
So I think we have enough people, so we can start with the webinar. Let me share my screen. Let me know, guys, if you can see my screen.
Yep, I can see you.
Perfect. So as I mentioned, today it's going to be the webinar about the new updates that we have with QuoteRush. And we have Matt Weaver from QuoteRush that he's also going to provide more details about what is QuoteRush. If you haven't used QuoteRush, or if you are planning also to start using QuoteRush, Matt is going to give you an update of what is QuoteRush and how QuoteRush is going to help you with InsuredMine. Saying that, this is going to be our agenda about InsuredMine. In case, guys, you don't know what it's InsuredMine, or also like you don't know what it's QuoteRush, we're going to provide you a brief summary of both platforms. The auto quote two-way integration that we have now with QuoteRush, that it's live, and we are so happy for this because it's going to help you to reduce time and make your life easy. And then we're going to jump in the demo how to set up your auto quote in InsuredMine and how it's showing in QuoteRush. And then if you have any questions, we are going to answer any of those. But also, in the meantime, if you have any question, please send it everything in the chat. We have other InsuredMine team members that they are joining the webinar also. They are going to help you to answer some of those questions. And you also have the Q&A option here. So either you send it in the chat or you send it in the Q&A. We're going to help you. Okay. So,
And Montserrat, I'm going to go ahead and paste some email accounts into the chat as well in case anybody either needs to reach out to our sales team or they need some support with their current system that they have with QuoteRush.
yep, that's correct. Let me see. Yes, Kim, we are recording this and we're going to share the recording after we finish it. So, guys, in case you don't know what it's InsureMine, so it's just going to give you a quick overview. Probably, I bet that a lot of people that is joining us today, you are using InsureMine. You know how InsureMine is going to help you or how InsureMine is helping you. But we are insurance CRM, 100% focused in insurance business agencies, and we help you with streamline your process. As we have it in the website, we are a one platform that you are going to use for your insurance purpose, and we have different integrations that it's going to help you to stay in InsureMine and send that data to other system, saying that it's that you will have a sales pipelines, you have engagement module, you have email campaigns, you have e-signature inside of InsureMind, in which all of those modules that you have, it's going to help you to improve your business, to bring more clients or more prospects if you are looking for those, or also to close your renewal on time. Like today, we are going to focus more in renewals. So the goal of all of these InsureMine updates is that it's going to help you to improve your efficiency and reduce time that your producers, your agents, or your CSRs are spending to focus in bringing more clients or helping to bring other policies to renew or to do cross sellings. Okay. And then I cannot move. Well, the purpose of this webinar is going to show you the integration that we have with QuoteRush, the new updates, and all of this is going to be included for you guys, InsureMine clients, and if you want to start using QuoteRush, might already send you the information and how you can start triggering this setup in the platform. So then we're going to jump in what is QuoteRush. So here Marit's going to come and talk about what is QuoteRush and how QuoteRush is helping the agencies.
Hi, thank you, Montserrat. Yeah, so my name's Matt Weaver. I'm the Director of Business Development up here at QuoteRush. Our goal here up at QuoteRush is to, streamline the entire process for insurance agents from A to Z, whether that be gathering the data, making sure that the data points are accurate, conveying that over to the carriers, or being left with something that is ultimately going to save you time and work inside of those carriers so you can then spend that time with your clients. So the whole idea is that we have real-time data exchange going on with carriers. We actively interact with those carrier sites. And what that means is that we get a much quicker quoting process because we actually get the real-time feedback of those carriers. So I do see some questions about, other systems in the, quoting space. I would kind of compare us more to a quote automation platform rather than a traditional rater. Typically, a traditional rater is more focused on the end number as a goal, getting a premium when if you were to ask the average agent, they'd say that initial number that comes out of any given carrier is more of an indication. So what we've tried to do is really address more of the redundancy that takes place within the carrier sites once you've gotten to that point by asking for a little bit more information. And in turn, what we can do is we can convey that information into the carrier sites and leave you with a much more complete, much more accurate quote. So yeah, that's kind of at its heart the baseline side of QuoteRush. And if I were to say the ultimate goal is to take a team, even somebody who's been in the industry for 7 days, and have them quoting like they've been in the industry for 7 years by addressing accuracy and feedback from the carriers.
Thank you, Matt. Upendra, yes, this is going to be available for also TWFG agents, but probably it's going to have like a delay in your portal uh, for the next month or so. We are reviewing with the team how long it's going to take us to deliver this to TWFG agencies. So all of you are going to have access. Then, same as Matt already mentioned, it's improving efficiency and streamline your workflows with InsureMine and QuoteRush, right? Then we're going to talk about what is the auto renewal in QuoteRush with InsureMine. So just to give you like brief data, and then we're going to jump in the platform. So it's going to be a feature that is going to automatically extends your quotes in InsureMine. So let's say in InsureMine you are going to have your renewal pipeline, and in that renewal pipeline at this moment, how it's working, you set up your time that when you want that the system creates you the deal card. It could be 30 days before the renewal is coming, 45 days, or 60 days or 90 days, right? It depends on your agency and your process. So this update that we have added in InsureMine, you will have the same setup: 30, 60, 45 days, 90 days. It's going to be depends on you. But what the system is going to do, it's going to do like you want to set up 30 days, and 1 day before the 30 days, that is going to be the 31 day, InsureMine is going to send that information to QuoteRush, and then QuoteRush is going to auto-generate the quote for you. Either it's going to be home or auto. The system is going to auto-generate that, and on the 30th day, QuoteRush is going to send us that information in InsureMine. InsureMine is going to create the deal card inside of your pipeline in the correct stage. And then inside of the deal card, you are going to have the quote information. So you do not have to wait until you have the deal card in the system and then go to QuoteRush, create the quote, review, etc. No, you're going to skip that step at this moment, and then you just need to review if everything is okay. If you need to do any changes in the quote inside of QuoteRush, you are going to be able to do it, and that update it's also going to come in InsureMine. Any update that you do in the quote, it's coming in InsureMine, and then you will see it again in your deal card. That's just like a brief summary of how it's going to work, and I will show you all the step by step on how it's working. Here we have it: policy eligibility, generation of the renewal terms, and a kind of automatic renewal process. So let me see if you guys have any question. And then let me start showing InsureMine portal. Matt, do you have something else that you want to add?
It does look like Gina has a question in here. Does QuoteRush autofill home and auto? And looks like she put MVR after that. So I did want you to kind of speak on, what lines of business will be produced through what you're talking about, and then I can talk about the actual capabilities of the QuoteRush system, if you don't mind.
Yes. So with QuoteRush, we send, or we have the forms that it's home and auto. Those are the only two lines that we send between both systems.
Okay, perfect. So, and Gina, to answer your question more broadly about the QuoteRush system itself, it's actually designed to be able to quote home, auto, and flood. When we talk about home, that's going to be not just the HO3 product, but we're talking about the HO6s, the mobile homes, DP products. I know those are important. So, we do have a pretty robust line that we will allow you to automate within the carriers. As for MVRs, that's kind of a different question. Generally, MVRs are run during the application process and not the quoting process, which typically you'll find is initiated by the agent themselves.
Okay, thank you, Matt. So here I am in the demo account. So this is going to be like the demo showing. Guys, at this moment you can go and also navigate through InsuredMine and do the setup if you have already QuoteRush integrated with InsuredMine. But if you haven't get QuoteRush, once you get your access to QuoteRush, just to give you an update, you need to go to settings. Then here in integrations, you need to scroll down, find QuoteRush, and connect. At this moment, I am already connected, so I cannot show you how to connect at all, but it's going to show connect. And then what is going to be the second step? The second step is going to be like, you need to go to forms. And in forms, we have the templates that it's going to be a out-of-home combined quote form, or also you can use specifically the auto quote or the home form that we have. You need to choose which of those forms you want to use, and then edit the form. So let's say I'm going to use this one. And the only thing that you guys need to do, as we have mentioned in the other webinars, if you are going to use these specific forms, it's going to be only change your logo. All of the other details that we have added here in the form, I will not recommend you to edit anything or add something because it will cause any problem with the integration with QuoteRush, and we will not be able to send the information or bring the information into InsuredMine. So I just wanted to be clear on that setup. And let me close something here. So first step, connect with QuoteRush. Second, enable your QuoteRush auto-home form. The third step is going to be go to settings. And in settings, we need to enable in configuration your rater settings. So at this moment it's showing QuoteRush. So I'm going to disable to show you what you have to do. It's going to be enable. And here it's why it's important that you save your form, because the system is going to ask you which of the forms that you already have created in InsuredMine is going to be the auto quote form or the home form that you want to use. So you need to select the form that you want to use. So we're going to save this. And the second is, the first step is going to be QuoteRush carrier settings. So here you need to select which of the carriers that QuoteRush is providing are also that you have or that you are working with them. You want to receive the quotes. You want that the system generates you the information and provide you the quote renewal form. So at this moment, we already have pre-selected, but you can type the carrier that you want to use or remove the ones that you don't want to use. That is going to be the four step. And the 5 step is going to be directly to pipelines. So we need to go to pipeline settings. Either you stay here in the same settings page, or you can go directly to pipelines and then click in the three dots, pipeline settings, then go to renewal pipeline, review your settings, if everything is okay. Scroll down, and here you have it. Do you want to sync policies into raters? You will say yes or no. I will say, of course, yes. And set the time or the days the prior that you want to sync before creating the renewal card. As I mentioned, if you have the settings at the top that is showing that the system should create you the deal card, here is showing 2 days before the expiration date, but if you wanted that it's going to be 20 days, 30 days, so you need to think about that the system on the 29 day, on the 31 day, it's going to create you the form or the quote. If you wanted to have it 5 days prior, so you need to do the count on how many days are you going to create the quote in the system. At this moment, we already set up 1 day. So that means that the system 1 day prior, it creates the deal card. On the third day prior of the creation of the deal card, it's going to send this information to QuoteRush. And on the second day that it's supposed that we already set up, the system is going to bring the deal card. And we already have it like this. Oh, 1 day. Save settings, review that everything is showing as you expect. Save. And the system automatically it's going to bring that information. How it's going to show this in your deal cards. At this moment, I cannot show you exactly when the deal card is generating and then how it's sending to the system, because as I mentioned, it could take 24 hours to create the deal card and also to show that information. So it's going to be depends on the setup that you put in the system. But here we have some examples. Cristina, she has her renewal and is showing sync. We already synced to the AMS that we're using. It's perfect. Then the system already create the quote. You will see it inside here in quotes and also the deal card. If we click inside of auto of the quote, we will see the deal category, that is the line of business, that it's auto, the carrier, the policy number, and the effective date. Any of this information, if you want to edit in QuoteRush, you will be able to do it. At this moment, because this is a test account, we cannot bring the premium or more details, but you will be able to add more information in QuoteRush and send that information into InsureMine. I want to stop here. Do you guys have any question? So, Laura, this is going to show active inside of InsureMine? Yes. So probably I need to see your screen to see how it's showing it. No, Sarah, it's not going to pull a quote for each carrier. It's going to give you the best option that the carrier provide. And also probably, Matt, you can complement this information.
Yeah, so I mean, if you'd like to see, I guess you could pull Christina up over on your screen. You've got that tab right there.
I mean, in QuoteRush, you mean, or?
Yeah. So if it was forwarded over, you'd be able to look at it. But realistically, you could open up any of these leads that you see in the recent leads section here on the dashboard, which is first page that anybody's going to see in our system. Basically, as the leads come in, you guys will have a card created for each of the leads that are in this system. And the first page that you see is where these newer renewals would show up once the quotes have actually been run. So if you'd like to scroll down a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah, you've got some examples of some quotes that have been run here. Now, what you're seeing here are home quotes. So first thing you'll notice in here is we give you a lot of information. Now, there's a whole description section that's going to include things like the policy ID number and the dwelling amount. That dwelling amount's pretty cool too. We have the ability, if you're not familiar with QuoteRush, to actually give you a unique dwelling amount on carriers who allow us to run their replacement cost estimator, which is a pretty cool feature. Either way, you're going to see some numbers in here as well as some information about the quotes. And I would ask if Montserrat, you wouldn't mind clicking on the little I on the right-hand side. This
Yeah,
is going to give
actually,
you.
hey, Matt, sorry, I just
Mhm.
wanted to jump in. Can we make sure that we're in a test account, please?
Sure. Yeah.
Yes, get this account.
Okay, so this is in the Insured Minds portal?
Yes, InsuredMine portal.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure because it looked like live data, and I just wanted to make sure that we weren't accidentally in a different portal for a test
We are
agency.
test account. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So I since this is an Insured Minds database, I think we should be good to go. These eyes on the right-hand side in the green, this is something that tends to get missed by folks. And I think it's something that really, really empowers agents. Unfortunately, since it gets missed, folks don't know the kind of feedback that we actually give them from the carriers. So since a lot of our interactions with the carrier sites happen similar to a human interaction, we can actually take note of those interactions and tell you anytime that we need to change something inside of a carrier. That's traditionally a little bit different from the experience of someone using a traditional rater, simply because when you tend to run a quote with a rater, your next task is, I need to now go figure out what all has changed from what I told it to enter. So we try to kind of make that a little easier on you and give you a laundry list of items to check in on. And I mean, in this case, you've got coverages that need to be fixed. Totally okay. We are trying to empower the agent. We're trying to give you the items to work. And so once you do work those items, it may mean that, if you wanted to close this monster out, I'll kind of point us back over to the premiums column over here on the right. You'll notice, maybe that VERD quote that gave us a policy ID and actually saved some information in there. Maybe I went into the carrier and I actually changed around some numbers and got a premium out of that carrier. I would want to include that, right? You can actually edit those quotes inside of the carrier, and then reflect that information in QuoteRush with the little pencil icon right there. So, if I'm to understand correctly, the updates that you do on the quotes reflect in the information that's saved back to the InsuredMine system. Is that correct, Montserrat?
Yep, that's correct.
Okay. And am I also to believe correctly the updates on the actual data in the lead? Are those updates going to happen if they save a change in the lead itself, or is it specifically with the quotes?
It's specific with the quotes.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, basically what that means is your teams will want to focus in on this area and those messages. Make sure that you guys have done your due diligence inside of the carrier sites, made sure that the carrier looks the way you want it to, and then make those changes in here. Once you're done and you save this lead, which you can scroll back up to the top to see the save button. Oh, I guess you would need to click the edit button first. It's up at the very top there. There's another I that says edit. Although when you do update this quote, I believe it'll trigger it. I'm really in the habit of teaching good procedure in our system. So
Update quote.
yeah, perfect. Two ways of doing it. You could either just update it without ever even clicking at it, or if you planned on actually kind of looking at the lead's details, you wanted to kind of review some of the information in the lead, you could always click that edit button that your cursor was just on, and you can do the same process that we just talked about. And I'd also like to point out, let's say the agent would like to print out those same quotes that they've just saved and sent over. If you look over to the left-hand side of this screen under the word overview, there's actually a little print button. It's just a little over to the right of where your mouse is on those tabs, just below that. There you go. It's the print button right there. That'll actually print out the quotes. Now, I think the one other thing we haven't talked about is the fact that we also do auto quotes. So if you want to hit cancel here, I will point out just exactly where your mouse is. Those blue tabs will actually show you the different lines of business that have been quoted. So in this case, doesn't look like there are any auto quotes, but yeah, so that's kind of the different ways to review those.
Thank you, Matt. So I think we have more questions in the chat, so let me review those. So Sarah is asking us, it's quoting in QuoteRush based on the renewal policies deck page. So all coverage are the same on the new quote. Do you know, Matt?
So I'm assuming the coverages would be whatever the coverages are saved as in QuoteRush. If the information has changed in your system before you send it over to us, then the coverages would change. But basically, the numbers that you'll see put into the carrier sites will either reflect what is saved under the lead inside of the QuoteRush system that at the time that lead runs through the carrier sites, or it will adjust based on the needs of that carrier. And in that case, if it's something different than what they told us to put in the carrier site, we would actually reflect it in those messages that I told everybody to review.
I don't see the bottom. Okay, so let me answer other question. Lara. So Laura is saying, normally on the renewal deal card, you will see the renewal quote information. So will it show the quotes for this and then the best option? Yes. So I know that at this moment when we generate the renewal, is showing the quote here of the renewal. But now when you enable this integration, the option or the new update is going to show you that you already have the carrier and this information is coming from QuoteRush. Okay, let me see if we have more questions. Yvonne, probably you need to send us a screenshot of how it's showing because it should show the carriers in the drop down for out and home in the configuration screen. So Shauna, probably we need to review with QuoteRush. Matt is Shauna is telling us it looks like your carrier map on the QuoteRush website has not been updated yet. Is this correct? Colorado is showing Safeco.
So if our map is showing that we have carriers in that area, then you should be able to quote in those areas. If they're looking at the website, that should be up to date. They just need to contact our sales department for more details. If they are current clients and they're not seeing it whenever they pick that carrier, generally that means that they're looking to quote in a state that we need beta testing in before we can release the carriers to the bots. So, in that case, they can reach out to support and just say, hey, I'm not able to see this carrier for this state, and we can figure out what needs to be done on their end.
Right. So Gina is telling us that they are using Epic. When the renewal card comes in, does QuoteRush autofill the information for quoting? Yes. So this is going to be for all the AMSs, Gina. Either if you do not have an AMS in InsuredMine, if you set up your renewal configuration pipeline inside of the InsuredMine, and also if you enable the QuoteRush auto quoting, the system is going to generate you the deal card and also it's going to bring you the auto quote information inside of the deal card. Doesn't matter the AMS that you have. The only important thing is that you have the QuoteRush integration and that you set up the QuoteRush configuration. Randy, you are telling us. For those of us who are longtime users of QuoteRush but new to InsureMine, will we be able to transfer data from QuoteRush into InsureMine? I will ask you which kind of data. At this moment, it's only InsureMine and InsureMine transferring data to QuoteRush. And when we generate the quote or the information, you can update that information in QuoteRush and we will send it to InsureMine. But if you want to start in QuoteRush and send it to InsureMine, at this moment that it's not available, we're working with the team to see what can we do that if you want to start in QuoteRush, we can send that information to InsureMine.
I see here a question here that I can go ahead and contribute to. It looks like somebody's asking, are the carriers same as we were appointed with? So QuoteRush's system will only work with carriers that you've added your carrier site logins into. So yes, you would need to be appointed with those carriers. I have another question here from Randy saying, does this work on the older QuoteRush version or only on the new web version? Great question, Randy. You should be able to see these updates happen into the web and the desktop version. Both of them are the same database, so they're both attached to the same information. So if one's updated, the other one will show the same.
Right. Something to mention, guys, it's that this integration or this feature, it's only available if you have the QuoteRush access, right? If you do not have the QuoteRush access, you will not be able to see or to handle this. It's only going to be able if you have QuoteRush. So either InsureMine is going to show you all the setups that I already show with you, but it's not going to allow you to go further or to start seeing the auto quotes renewals in InsureMine. So just to keep an eye, if you want to have a QuoteRush integration with InsureMine, please pin Matt. And I think Matt already posted his email so you can connect with him.
Yeah, and I will, once the questions kind of die down so it doesn't get lost in the mix, I'll make sure to paste it again. You can scroll to the top for the information for both our sales and support teams, depending on if you have QuoteRush and need help or don't have it and need us to help you speed up your quoting process. I do have an important question from Roger in here. Matt, I didn't understand your explanation of the difference between QR and a comparative rater. Would I cancel my subscription to my comparative rater and replace it with QR? So that's a good question, Roger. Our philosophy at QuoteRush is that we're here to work with everybody. I think everybody benefits when everybody gets along in the sandbox, right? So ultimately, the goal that we have is for us to speed up the redundant steps that you normally find yourself doing beyond just getting the initial premium, right? So if you were to take a step back and you were to look at your whole process beyond just getting that first premium, generally it's going to look something like this. I get my information from my client. I get my initial numbers. After that, I clean up those numbers by maybe gathering a little more detail. If not, then after I get those initial numbers, I then dedicate specific amounts of time into each carrier to go to places like 360 Value, MSBRCT, and correct a bunch of third-party data that generally is not accurate. Right. So the whole goal on the QuoteRush side is to not just stop at giving you that initial number, but actually go through that process in each of those carriers of replacing that, pre-filled data with the data that you've actually gathered already. And that cuts out a big chunk of the time that you typically would spend inside of the carrier after first getting that premium. Whether you've shared that premium with the client or not, there's still an inherent amount of time spent on the hands of the agent. And, that's really where we come into play, is we're looking to put more information in the carriers, save them, and leave you with something that's going to cause you less work in the long run. So, and to answer that, question of would you cancel your subscription to come to QuoteRush? I guess that would greatly depend on the goals that you're reaching with your current rater. And, if you're looking for something that is specifically built to reduce redundancy, give you more accuracy, and help facilitate your time spend to something that's more outcome driven, then QuoteRush might be a good fit for you.
Yep. Yeah, guys, I mean, InsureMine, we are integrating with kind of all the raters. So this feature at this moment is going to be available only with QuoteRush. We do not have any information or details if we are going to plan to release it with other raters, but I will encourage you guys that you start using this. Try and always, as we mentioned, share your feedback. We are here to help you and to, of course, reduce the time that you spend and make your process more efficient. So we are going to share this recording with you guys. Paula is going to post it here in the chat, some knowledge base that you can take a look, and here in the knowledge base is going to show you the step-by-step of what you have to do to set up the auto renewal quote. And let me bring again the presentation just to wrap up. We will send also these slides with you if you have any questions, so you can take a look. Remember that every 2 weeks or bi-weekly we're having webinars. So go to InsureMine website and then webinars, and you will be able to register for the webinars. The next webinar that we have, it's going to be April 23rd. And it's going to be at 12 p.m. Central Time. This is going to be with our other partner that it's going to be ePay. So guys, if you haven't taken a look of all the integrations that we have, take a look, see what could works for you. And if you have any questions, we are here for you. Register for that webinar. That webinar is going to be at 12 p.m. as I mentioned. Remember, the guys, that the normal webinars that we have, it's at 1 p.m. Central Time. So only because we have the integrations and our partners, we are making an exceptions on the times that we are scheduling those webinars. And if we have any change in the webinars or the topics, we are going to let you know. And also, if you have any questions or suggestions about like Montserrat, I haven't seen like how to do a workflow based on cross-selling, or I want to send a marketing campaign for newsletter. Please show me from scratch how do I have to do the templates, adding links in the templates and then triggering the campaign. Please send those suggestions to us, and we are happy to make those webinars for you guys. Matt, do you have something else that you want to share with us today?
Well, Montserrat, I'd first like to thank you for your time today and, having me on the call. It's been great getting a chance to kind of speak to some new users of the system, or maybe longtime users that are using both of our systems. Right. I know there were a fair number of questions in today's call, and I never want to leave anyone, wanting more information without a place to go for it. So please take a look in today's chat. I've provided a couple of different emails. If you are interested in signing up for the QuoteRush program, or you have some additional questions about available carriers or anything like that, please feel free to reach out to our sales team. That's sales@quoterush.com. Or if you are a QuoteRush user and you've got some questions that need answering about a support related issue, you can reach out to support@quoterush.com.
Yes. And again, just to mention again, guys, because I see a question from Marilyn. So no, your logins from InsureMine and for QuoteRush are going to be completely different. So if you do not have QuoteRush, you need to go with QuoteRush team, as we already posted, sales@quoterush.com, and they are going to help you to set up your QuoteRush. And then if you need to integrate it with InsureMine, we also can help you and guide you how to do it. And yes, all of these recordings we are going to send to you guys. So next week we are going to send you the recording. Okay. Well, I think that's it. Thank you, Matt. Thank you all for joining us.
Of course.
Please share your feedback and keep posted. Probably we're going to have another webinar, and Matt is going to host that webinar with this amazing integration that we have. We're going to keep you posted, guys. Thank you all.
Bye, guys.